Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about my LS Swap 68 Chevelle. I did some videos in the past and it's been a long time, but we got it together. I'm going to go over the things that I like and the things that I don't like, okay? And and tell you at the end if I would do it all over again or maybe not, you know what I mean? So stick around, check us out. Alright y'all, so here I am, I'm back in the garage again, as you can see. So we got the 6.0 in Boudica. I'll turn around and let you see what we got here. There she is. We were going to go turbo, fuel injected, and we decided not to. One reason is this car's been sitting 20 something years. And once I got to drive it with the big block in it again, I couldn't wait. So instead of modifying the fuel system, butchering the car and everything, we went to the carbureted version. So let's start off at the top. So I had a 950 on it. We went to an 850. Now we're at a 750, and I'm thinking about going to 650. At idle, she's kind of really fat. You know, she's running around 12 maybe at idle. Wide open throttle 13.5, which is fine for me, especially with the gas on there. I haven't sprayed it yet, but we plan to. Factory coil packs, nothing spectacular there. Exhaust manifolds. So the exhaust manifolds are Summit brand, ball mount. They look like pretty well made manifolds. They come with the gaskets, bolts. The flange has the O2 bung, which I needed for the air-fuel ratio gauge and all that. Now I modified the PCV valve, put the air filter there. We did put the coolant sensor here for our MSD 6014, so to just help knock timing out of it if the engine's hot when you need to restart it. So you do see the nitrous on here. I got two gauges, one for the fuel gauge and one for the nitrous fuel, so we're there. I do have a Corvette water pump on here with adapter plates behind it. So my crossover or for my coolant hose is going to go there to the adapter plate. I had to drill and tap this to put my sensor here for my electric fans to kick off and on. I am running the ICT billet manual tensioner. Love it. It worked out perfectly to me because I'm not going to run power steering. I just have to put a manual rack on this car one day, so instead of looping it old school gangsta style. I used the factory radiator, didn't have to buy any kind of crazy radiator, or not factory, but my radiator, aluminum radiator that fit the big block. I did run some adapters in between. You'll see them on some of my videos, but it may, or one of my videos, I showed the adapters on there, but I'll show you again before this one's over. So it'll let you adapt from any size to any size, and it makes it a lot easier to get a nice flow and clearance so you don't have that big hose sticking up or whatever. They call them barbs, and I don't know if you can see it, but that's what I use. So you can go from one radiator size. I'll take it out of the bag. I didn't want to. I kept this one just in case. It was the only extra part I had left over. Oh wow, they double bagged it. I've had to do that before. Anyway, so yeah, so that's it. You can go from one size here to a smaller size. Or they have them the same size on both ends. So whatever you need, I mean, if you can think of it on an LS motor, it's out there. You just have to look for it. So this made my radiator hoses super easy. Kept my existing radiator. Didn't even have to change the mounting locations or anything. So this part number here, I don't even know what size. This is a 1 1/4 to 1.5 barb. Then it's a AN 627 21 Alpha. Just got an AutoZone, like 145 amp alternator on here. ICT billet alternator brackets. This is a turbo style, I think is what they call this one. It works out well. It is a little close down here on the thermostat housing, but I do have an extra idler pulley that I was going to put up here. I just got to get a longer bolt, and that'll shim that inward away from the thermostat housing. This car does not have heater or anything, so we did the loop here. Got this at AutoZone instead of having a pinch raggedy looking when they do sell this. It worked out perfect. I did not run the 317 heads. I ended up doing 706s. They worked out really great to me, just because I wanted compression. But that adapter right over there makes it where I can still run the factory gauge. I did have to drill it out on the inside a little bit. Well, not factory gauge, my odometer gauge. Man, it turned out great. The oil pan was pretty much the only issue. The motor mounts I'm running are Moroso steel motor mounts. I have the LSX sliders, adapter plates right here. That worked out great. I'm using the factory bottom perch or bottom lower mount with the Moroso top. I left the transmission in the car. I never took it out when I went from the big block to the LS. I did have to loosen the transmission 2 cross member bolts, put a jack underneath, hold it up, but I left everything the same. So I didn't have to worry about the drive shaft. I didn't have to worry about anything. The only thing I had to do was take the LS sliding motor mounts, is what I'm going to call them, adjustable I guess, and slide everything to push the engine further back. And everything went in. If you do measurement wise, big block to LS, you don't think it'll fit. It's like an inch different, but man, it went right in there. The only issue came up was with the oil pan itself. The oil pan, everything fit in. The clearance is perfect on the pan. I mean, you can't ask for a better quality pan, I think, especially for under $200. And that's with the pickup tube, the gaskets, O-rings, I mean, everything. But for a 68 Chevelle, your steering will hit, and I'll show you where it hits at. So, you could shim the engine up a little bit, which I intend to do. Excuse me. I intend to do that in the future, probably in the next couple weeks, just to give me a little additional clearance from the steering. I did have to grind my knuckles down, but I figured, it's not enough to really worry about. But it was something that was an issue. Is the pan a universal pan? Yeah, I would think so. I think it'll go just about anything. But it depends on where you put your motor mount at, whether it'll clear or not. And I don't think they can tell you how you're going to bolt your thing up. So, is it the company's fault? Nah. Is it my fault? Nah. It's just when you do stuff like this, you have to be willing to make things work. So that's what we did. I'll go underneath. I'll show you the clearance, man. I mean, I've heard of people putting truck oil pans on here and things like that, modifying them. I don't think it's worth the time or the effort, man. Really, really close to hitting the brake line that goes from one side of the engine compartment over to the other side on your cross member, our engine cradle. So you have to shim it up just a little bit. The other thing was this was supposed to clear my control arms or my tie rod ends, and it did not. First day in there, it actually hit them, so I had to grind down. Let's see if I can do this without shaking. Grind down right there in order to, let's try this again. I had to grind down right here and repaint it to make sure that it didn't hit, and it doesn't, but it required a lot of grinding. Did not care for that. So the oil pan that I put on here, everywhere else, height, clearance, everything, I'll go underneath and show you. It doesn't hang down. Works really well. But that was something I don't care for at all. If it's supposed to fit it, it's supposed to fit it, and it don't. So underneath, you can see it doesn't hang down any lower than the engine cradle. I love that. I don't have to worry about it hitting. It's probably, there's my fist. It's probably about 1 inch in between there. So probably 5 inches of ground clearance, which is plenty, I think, when it comes to ground clearance. So ground clearance, I mean, I probably have 6 inches there. You can see the pan. It's amazing how it worked out. There's the license plate my daughter got me. Let me back up. 90 proof. And she designed that herself, so if y'all want one, let me know. We'll get you something. Got a little bit of liquor on there, so I always wanted a car like that. Wanted a car with a license plate that said 90 proof. So guess what? She got me one that says 90 proof. Hell yeah. So I did do on this. I did the Summit X-Pipe kit, 3-inch X-Pipe kit with Summit mufflers on here. So the mufflers are like the Flowmasters, or 2-chamber muffler. So we'll go in here and I'll start it up and let you see. Now on this setup, I had some pictures with my gauges or switches right here, and I did away with that. I put a radio in there. My MSD 6014's in there just for the clean look. We can go over that later. The engine is at 140 degrees, so she's cold. We'll see how it starts up. There she goes. That's the sound. That's what she's like. The cam is a Elgin, I think it's 1940P, I want to say is the number. The Sloppy Stage 2. So look up Sloppy Stage 2, that's what it is. Would I do this again? Hell yeah, dude, in a minute. I love the power. I love the drivability of it. I love the parts availability of it. I can go anywhere. If I were on the side of the road and something was an issue, I could, no matter what town I'm in, out in the middle of nowhere, a big city, I would be able to find the parts to fix this 100%. Now you're going to have to remember some of the things that you use to make it work, you know, truck balancer, car water pump, things like that, but I think it has more horsepower than the 396 had. I don't think it has the torque. That's why the gas is on it. So, man, I'm going to do it again. I'm looking at building another LS. I don't know if I'll put it in this car. I want to put it in something else. But we're going to see. I still have a lot more stuff coming, y'all. I just didn't do this one real quick because I didn't want to put a video up with me not getting anywhere. I felt like I was spinning my tires. Every time I ordered parts from any company, it was wrong. I mean, wrong. Like, I ordered the balancer, and I got a, what'd I get? They gave me a transfer case gasket. I'm like, yeah, that'll work great in a Chevelle 2-wheel drive. Yeah, whatever. I ordered, God, dog, I couldn't tell you. So many dipstick. The dipstick tube was correct. Dipstick was wrong. I mean, it was literally just about everything on the outside of the motor was incorrect. I did join a car club, so I'm going to have some videos of them guys, their cars, our club, our cruises, things of that nature. I love it. I love being back in the game again with all these guys, man. I'm in there with a good group of men and ladies, family oriented. It seems like, you know, it's going to be amazing. I have driven the car about 4,000 miles since we put this LS in there, and dude, it's been awesome. So, you know, y'all can knock me for going carbureted and stepping back to Neanderthal days if you want to. I've seen people at the shows walk past 5 cars that have a fuel injected LS swap and then stop at this one and stare at it and just really appreciate the look of being old school with new school capabilities. I still have a laptop. I'm still learning it. I have some of the things that those guys have. I can knock timing out when I spray it, you know what I mean? And then it eases back in. I'm kind of using it as traction control right now because I have a 10-bolt rear end. I'm afraid I'm going to grenade. So I have no timing up to about 4,000 RPMs, and at 4,000 it's coming all in, and you better hope you're out in front of me. That's all I know. Man, I love it. I think this is the way to go. Put them old conventional school things back in the closet, back in the garage. Let them collect dust, or better yet, sell them and get you some LSs, because these are the next thing, are already here. I don't know why I'm saying next. I'm just old. I'm just new to the game. I'll have some more videos coming, y'all. Please like and subscribe. Check us out. Hit the bell. Do whatever you do to help me out, man. I love this. My kids are into it. My wife's into it. Friends are into it. And like I said, we're going to do some cruises. We're going to do some rides, interviews with some other people. If you got any questions, hit me up. If you got any concerns, worries, thoughts, what did I do, what flywheel or flex plate or anything like that, just hit me up, man. I'll try to answer them. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Thank y'all for, if you subscribed already, I really appreciate that. If you haven't, appreciate your time. I know it means something to y'all. And maybe we'll do some video of me hitting the gas on this thing, you know, spraying it, just whatever we do, you know, the rear end swap. I want to put seats in it. I want to put carpet in it. I need to do A-arm bushings on it badly. They've rotted, so I have those already here. I just got to get the time and the place to do it. And then I'll show you some of the stuff we've done. You know, I did a Wildwood disc brake setup with drum spindles. So I can show you that, because I want to take them back apart and just look at them, make sure everything's tight and nothing's wrong. Turbo 400 transmission, LS 6.0, and it's turning 2,600 RPMs at about 60 mile an hour, so it's not too bad. It is drivable anywhere you want to go. If you're worried about loud and you're worried about RPMs and you're worried about all that shit, you in the wrong business. That's all I got to say. So anyway, we'll see y'all again. Appreciate it, and stick around for the next video. Hopefully it'll be like a lot sooner than this one was.